Live 105.3, Texas Motor Speedway's official radio station. Joining us, if you hear the commotion joining the background, it's all these crazy film crews and still photographers. Dirk, have a seat.
That paparazzi.
Have a seat, man. I stood up. I knew you were coming, man.
All right.
We've been teasing that this guy's coming in the Freak Nation with Crash Gladys and Kenny Sargent for 2 days now, and he actually rolls in here, has his entourage, but it's a very good-looking entourage, Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes,
Thank
it is.
Thank you.
Dirk Nowitzki, of course, from the Dallas Mavericks, joins us on Live 105.3, your official Texas Motor Speedway station. This is your first NASCAR race, Dirk, is that right?
That is. I've been to a Formula One race back in a couple years ago in the summer in Europe. Actually, it was one in Germany, but since then I haven't been. But obviously everybody in Germany grows up watching Michael Schumacher and is a big motor fan. So it's exciting.
And are you a big Michael Schumacher fan?
Obviously, everybody was. I mean, he's huge. I've actually got to know him a little bit. I went to his foundation soccer games like 3 times, and he's a great guy. So I met a bunch of other racers there too that day. So yeah, a big fan. It's an honor to be here.
Dirk Nowitzki joins us here in the Speed Freaks on Live 105.3 with the Crash Glass and Kenny Sargent. And if we had 2 hours to catch up on the Bundesliga, I'm a big footballer. Bundesliga.
Who you like?
Oh man, well, any American that goes over to Germany to play, of course I like.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Liverpool, Chelsea. I'm a big English soccer fan.
Soccer,
so
yeah.
we could go round and round on that. But we're here in motorsports, and we got to talk a little motorsports
Let's do it.
and a little bit of rock and roll. And you have some fans out there. Seriously, I interviewed Klaus Rudolph and Matthias Jabs of Scorpions 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
Weeks ago, and your name came up in the conversation with the Scorpions.
You brought it up?
They brought
No, they did.
they
Oh,
brought
I
it
don't
up.
believe that.
No, because Rudolph Schenker was dropping all these big-time Michael Schumacher, Ralph Schumacher names, dropping off a couple of Nextel Cup names, and your name came up because he heard I was from Dallas. And he goes, "You got Dirk. You got Dirk."
Yeah, that's cool.
How about that? The Scorpions talking about Dirk Nowitzki on the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, that's pretty big. I was everybody knew the Scorpions when I grew up, and they were huge all over the world. So I mean, I don't know. For me, it's kind of surreal. The way everything went the last 10 years. When I first got here, I didn't think I was good enough. And next thing you know, everybody knows me. I'm a household name. I can't even go on vacation without people recognizing me. So it's been an amazing ride, and enjoyed every minute of it.
But Dirk, Michael Schumacher could walk through walk through the stands, and maybe 10% would know who he is.
No, a little more than that.
Okay.
I
I
disagree
disagree.
He is the man.
Come on, he says
He
he
won
comes
6 world championships in a row, right? Or was it 7?
So
7 total, 6 in a row.
Formula One's not coming back here next year. What does
It
that
doesn't
tell
matter.
you?
He's the
What
number
does that-
one man in motorsports in the world.
In
It
the
doesn't
world.
matter.
Crash. Listen, Michael Schumacher says he comes to the States so he can relax. He goes skiing in Colorado to relax.
I heard that too. He actually was in Texas too for vacations. Like,
Yeah.
I rented a big ranch and chilled out. Nobody knew who I was. I was like, that's cool.
So don't tell me that all these cats here for the Nextel Cup race at Dickies 500 know who Michael
This
Schumacher
is a racing crowd. They would still know, and it would definitely be
Yeah,
more
I
than
think-
10%.
I
Dirk
think
and
so
I,
too.
we
I
go
think
back.
so too.
How did you put your name out there to say, I want to be a part of a NASCAR race
how
at
did this
Texas
come
Motor Speedway, or did they come to you?
No, they came to me and approached me, and I think I heard LeBron started in Cleveland, so obviously more than honored to do it. And here I am. so I'm
Carmelo
excited.
Anthony, he also has an IndyCar team. Is he still
yeah.
a part of that IndyCar team?
I don't
they're
know.
all getting
You know what?
involved.
I'm not that close to him, so I haven't
What
really
about you?
talked,
Would you ever want to start a team?
We'll see if
Come on.
opportunities come up in the near future. So I'll always leave the future open. So we'll see what happens.
What about you're doing Gentlemen Start Your Engines? Are you ready? Do you want to practice with us? We
You
can help
know-
you. We are full-time, big-time announcers now.
I heard somebody said they're huge fans, and I got to bring some enthusiasm and really yell it out loud. And so other than that, that's what I'll do.
Dirk
So?
Nowitzki joins us here on Live 105.3, and Crash is
Let's
trying
go
to get
through
it.
it.
No,
right
no,
now.
I can't do it right now. I got to
no,
save my energy
No,
for later.
don't do it now, but
No.
but just practice in German. Just say
Oh, there you go.
it in German. How do you
No,
say
I
it?
can't say it in German.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you can say it in
Yeah.
German if you want, but no, it doesn't sound the same.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't
Nothing
sound. It doesn't
gusto.
have the same American red, white, and blue if you say it in another language, does it?
So
Dirk Nowitzki joins us here on Live 105.3 with Crash Gladys and Kenny Sargent. There are a number of Nextel Cup drivers over there that do know who you are. Who's been the biggest name yet that's come up to you and go, I just wanted to meet you, Dirk Nowitzki,
in my career so far,
in your career?
well, I met another A lot of great people. Probably Boris Becker was one of
Oh,
the biggest names for me because I grew up watching him. Ever since I was little, when he won Wimbledon when he was like 17, and I was like at home getting my hair cut the same way as he did. So, I was a huge Boris fan, and when I got to meet him, that was one of my biggest days.
what about an American sports star?
Well, obviously for me, being basketball, it was huge to meet Michael Jordan. I've always been a huge basketball fan, and he's the best player I ever played. So for me, just to be on the same court and shake his hand was a huge honor. And other than that,
Well, here's one for you. Okay, Crash and I, we're out in Los Angeles. Live 105.3 has our national radio show on Sunday night, Speed Freaks. But I grew up in Dallas, but I've been out there for 17 years. What if I could name the starting Mavericks team like in the 80s? I can go Detlef Schrempf, Rolando Backman,
Brad
Davis.
Brad Davis came off the bench.
And
Derek Harper.
Bill Winnington.
He was in Dallas.
Yeah, he was.
I
He
didn't
was.
know
Yeah, and who was? Oh, come on, somebody.
Mark Aguirre.
Mark Aguirre, dude. And remember Mark Aguirre? And who was the coach then?
Was it Dick Mata?
It was Dick. Oh, those guys would go, and then they'd put their arms around each other when they walk off the court. Man, they would. Hey, see there? I'm a Mavericks fan, Dirk.
That's awesome.
Oh, no. He is. We will go to the bars in L.A. and make sure we watch all the Mavericks games we can.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
Oh, yes. But I will support him because Mark Cuban, your team owner, went to my college, so he's a Hoosier.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
you
got a little bit of a Mavericks.
See, I wanted to bring him out
to me.
today, but something happened with his family, so he couldn't come. But he was excited.
He's still dancing.
Hey.
No, he's done. He got voted off last
I
week.
know.
So.
I saw. I was bummed. Tell me you weren't blowing up your cell phone though to keep him on there.
Oh yeah, I did. I tried everything I could, but I just couldn't
Crash,
make it happen.
would you stop it? I've got Vince Young of Longhorns in there
Okay,
across
you go. You go.
My dad and I were at the very first at Reunion Arena when finally the Mavericks beat the damn Celtics. Larry Bird was on his ass shooting 40 foot. I mean, it was insane.
What was that? 88?
It was like 86 maybe
86.
when the Mavs finally beat the Celtics in Reunion Arena and Bird was off his ass. Big Bird fan? Larry Bird fan?
I love him. Yeah, I read books about him. Obviously, he's one of the greatest players ever played the game.
I mean, he was as coordinated as a three-legged zebra, but that guy he didn't have the move.
He looked slow. He couldn't jump, but always when the ball was there, he was right there. So, I mean, he just had a nose for a ball.
Is that a mental deal? Is that a mental deal for Larry Bird, a guy like that, to perform at that level?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. Obviously, he was very strong mentally. He was skilled like nobody else with his shots. He could shoot left and right from all over the place. And, it was just a tough-nosed guy.
I could go on. See, I know people are tugging you to get you out of here, but
I know
see,
he's
you
got
and I.
500 interviews to do.
Do we have some time?
I just got to wave the flag in, 2 hours? Other than that, I got nothing to do.
You know who would be good with Dirk would be if Chip Ganassi came in here, multi-NASCAR team owner.
That could be fun.
Comes in here and to talk about team ownership. Mark Cuban is very hands-on. He's
Yeah.
very hands-on.
I'd say so, yeah.
There's Richard Childress, there's Jack Rouse, there's Chip Ganassi, there's
Rick
Hendrick. These team owners are very hands-on. You see them at the races on Sundays, and then there are one or two others that never show up to the track.
Teresa Earnhardt, never.
Do you like a hands-on owner?
I think it's been great. He's almost at every practice. He's supporting us 100%. He flies with us on the same plane, like right behind me. He sits on the plane. So it's been great to have him around. He's been obviously when I first got here, the Mavericks were nobody. And when he took over, he changed the whole thing around. We got a new arena. He got the fans back into it. And he done so much for this organization. So we're all grateful.
Can it be too much though? Can you just say, Mark, chill?
Yeah, well, we all know he's very emotional during the games, and he's yelling at the refs and gets all fired up. So once in a while, I think he needs to learn to step back a little bit. But other than that, he's been great.
Because that's true. I'm the boss of Speed Freaks, and I've got to be careful to get too close to where I get into the lives of some of our co-hosts, because you don't want to bring it to the air. You don't want to bring it to the court. You don't need to know everything about Mark Cuban.
Yeah, but he's been a great friend. Basically,
Really?
Ever
That's
since.
cool.
Yeah. We go out together sometimes, especially at the beginning when he got here, and we got to know each other. We went out all the time. We went to Vegas together a bunch of years ago. So, no, he's a great friend. It's been a pleasure knowing him.
Are all the players like that with him, or just something you have uniquely with Mark?
Well, he's open to everybody, but some are closer, some are not, and the good thing is you can come up to him with anything. Off you have some problems off the court, on the court he's more than willing to help. So he's been a great influence.
Good old Indiana people.
Yeah.
Here's a
good
name for you,
people.
James Donaldson. How about
Big
that?
boy.
Big
Yeah,
boy.
yeah,
But he
yeah.
had those happy freaking shorts. That's back in the day when those shorts were right there and the
you
junk was almost hanging out.
Yeah, you remember Roy Tarpley?
Oh,
he was the man. there.
That dude could have been a monster.
Yeah,
he
was-
could. There was drug problems with Roy
Yeah.
Tarpley,
Oh.
and everybody in Dallas we hurt with that guy. We
Yeah.
hurt with him.
Yeah, he was a baller though.
Man, what's that? Yeah, Uwe
Oh,
Blom.
Uwe
Oh,
Blom.
man.
Uwe Blom, I remember
See
that
there?
name.
Man, we could go on. Dude, I really appreciate you dropping by and doing this
Absolutely.
for you.
Yeah.
Doing
And
this with us.
Have a blast out there. The fans
I
are
will.
going to eat you up. It's going to be a lot of fun for you out there.
There's a lot of
Yeah, I
eating
will.
for Dirk. You're a big bitch, man.
It's
You
a
are
lot.
tall.
It's a lot hotter than I thought, so I'm sweating. But it'll be good.
Man, again, thank you for rolling in here.
All right,
I bleed Dallas sports, even
He
though I'm out in
does.
L.A. with
Yes,
all those
he
happy
does.
boys for 17 years. It's cool to get you in here and to be a part of
sure.
this. Thank you, man.
Thank you guys.
Dirk Nowitzki, Dallas Mavericks, and